Hello, everybody. It's another Thursday live stream. I'm in a really good mood, but I'm very, very kind of deliriously tired. Today was my kid's first day of first grade, so we were up bright and early. Not used to the sleep schedule. Nobody in the house really was, but everything went smoothly, and yeah, we're here. We're ready to go. I hope you're all doing well. I see that we have a few comments. We have a few topics that we're going to go over as usual that we'll start with, and then we'll go wherever you guys take us on this magical voyage of, shooting the shit about guitars. So, let me see here. Good morning, Gene. Making coffee. I don't drink coffee, but, well, actually, I do drink coffee, but only 1 cup a day. On to the Mexican Coke. Markleford, yeah, coffee, milk. Hello, Paul from Wales. That's pretty cool. In their prime, who would you rather have? Bale or Giggs? I asked that because I know Ian's watching, and I know his answer on that. I'd be surprised. Giggs was a hard worker. Not the greatest guy off the pitch. But, yeah, important to that team. Good evening, Alan. Hope you're feeling well, man. Your local music shop, Gene, is within walking distance, but you won't shop there. The pricing is unreasonable, and the work is shoddy at best. The whole town is waiting for a new owner. Do you have anything else close to you? At all? Because that kind of sucks. I've been in that situation once. I was in the middle of nowhere. I only lived there for about 6 months. There was one shop, and it was abysmal. Their stock was terrible, and whenever you went in there, they treated you like garbage, like it was them doing you a favor by existing. Not a good way to drive business. Yeah, you're talking about your shops. Northern California. Ooh. Well, you do got some shops within driving distance at that point, if you're in California at all. Although, Northern California, yeah, you're going to have to go to some questionable places. Unless you want to go to, there's a place called Danville Music that's not directly in San Francisco, if I believe. But they carry a lot of stuff. They're goofy. They're really cool. I bought a guitar from them a couple years ago. They seem like nice enough guys. Thanks on the shirt. Both of you guys, thank you. You only have one. You watched Hendrix at Woodstock live last night. I saw the last night part at the end. I was going to say you were there. Like, that's freaking amazing, man. You have 3 Guitar Centers. That's not so bad, though. Guitar Center is not the worst place in the whole world to shop at. It's actually really convenient for a lot of things. Like, I really like their used policy. They have the best used policy, and it's something that a place like Sweetwater just can't match. Like, if you buy something from any Guitar Center used in the country and you have it shipped to you, you have it's 30 or 45 days. And if you don't like it, you don't need to ship anything back. You can just drive to your Guitar Center and drop it off, and you get your money back. So that whole try before you buy without having to deal with the shipping thing, because I know that could be a pain in the butt. And we were talking last week, somebody said that Sweetwater was giving them a hard time trying to ship back a guitar or return a guitar at all. And that's not ideal whatsoever. But, at least you have options when you do something like that. Danville's not too far. Check them out. Check out Danville Music. There's the free plug of the day. So, that brings me to, that's actually a really good segue of trading guitars online. I want to ask you guys, we're going to start right off with a poll. We don't always start with polls, but we're going to start with a poll today. So, start a poll. Would you or have you ever traded a guitar online? Okay, you guys got 3 options. I always add in a third option because I feel like it's fun. Oh, and hey, Greg, how you doing? Gareth Bale in his prime. There you go. Yeah, Gareth was... If that guy had the mentals of Cristiano, man, who knows? Who knows how good that guy could have been? But unbelievable in his prime. But I ask this because I've been talking to a few people, and I've been talking to a few shops, and a lot of people are going this route of trading in their guitars online because the market is so slow on certain things, or people have things that they're having a really hard time getting rid of. They don't want to deal with the hassle of it. So they're trading in, getting sent boxes with prepaid labels, having them shipped off to the shop that they're trading in for. The shop inspects them, and then they ship out the new guitar, or in some cases, if you do agree to do it this way, they'll just send you money. Have you ever done that? Have you ever considered doing that? Would you do that? Because I don't know how I feel about that. That's like a weird one, because what happens if you trade, say, because I know a lot of people that have done this. There was somebody that used to come in here that I think traded like 5 guitars for 1 guitar. What do you do at that point if the 1 guitar you get back, you don't like it at all? Do you return it? How does that even work? Logistically, that just seems like a nightmare. You're going to get store credit is my assumption, but then you got to hope they have something else you like. Because you're not just going to trade in 5 guitars for any guitar. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I don't know. And I've had a few offers on lots of things from people that want to trade guitars. And I'm so limited on what I would want at this point that it's probably not going to happen. But I don't know. This has made me really think about it. Like, would I actually feel comfortable doing this? And maybe I'm behind the times. Maybe lots of people have already done this, which is why I'm asking you guys the question. And if you have done it, let me know what you traded in and what you got back, because that's also interesting. Or if you did it with an individual person. That, to me, I don't think I would ever do. I would never trade with an individual I did not know online, period. That is a walking disaster waiting to happen. At least with a store, they're a business, so they can't just scam you as easily. And they would get caught, and then you'd have a way to fight up against it. But an individual, there's a lot of sketchy things that could go down with that. I would never do that. You guys, if you feel confident doing that, by all means, have at it. But me, no chance. No chance I would send a guitar to somebody I never met in hopes of receiving another guitar. At all. You got a used Squier Standard Series HSS from the Guitar Center site this week. There you go. I bet you it wasn't very expensive either. That's the other thing. If you're quick, I know there's a ton of people that just like, they hover around Guitar Center all day on the used section online, and they just keep refreshing it because they don't always refresh it at the same time. And they'll just hunt for great deals because some prices are exceptionally good. Others I've noticed as a whole, they seem to be going up on the used section of Guitar Center, going in the wrong direction. But they're still out there once in a while. I wouldn't trade guitars unless it was in person. 100% agree with you. As far as an individual goes. The shop thing, I'm not fully on board with it still, but I'm more open to it than an individual, that's for sure. It's got to have an easy refund policy in case I don't like the neck. Yes. You know, there's a guitar I'm actually considering right now, but I've never played one in person, ever, from this brand. I've never played anything from this brand as far as their electric guitars go. And it's like a leap of faith. And my thing is like, I have this terrible guilty conscience. Like, I don't want to just try something and then if I hate it, like send it back to the shop, because that kind of sucks. Being somebody that buys and sells guitars too, like you don't want to do test drives. Like if you come to a deal and it's a fair price, like I feel like you got to honor it. So I don't think I'm going to go down that route, but you never know until you do try. You never know until you do try. And there's like a certain price point. Like once it gets like over $1,500 and you've never played one of them, that's a tough call. That's a tough gamble to do it. But I'm in the same boat as you. I don't know if I'm going to like the neck. And that's why I wish that manufacturers would give, more specific than C-shape or modern C-shape neck. Okay. That could mean anything at this point. Even Fender, when they label guitars modern C-shaped necks, the variance between not just the thickness, but the shape of them have been very different from guitar to guitar that I've had firsthand experience with. So it's not exactly a good general statement to give. It's not very exact. Not to me, at least. Thoughts on pure nickel versus stainless steel strings? Pure nickel strings, I like them on guitars that are not Telecasters or Stratocasters, because I think it just adds too much. It's too much twang at that point. Like pure nickel strings, on a Les Paul or a Gibson, I think it actually it does it really good. They feel a little bit different, but they sound really good. As far as stainless steel, yeah, I don't have much experience with stainless steel strings. I might have played one or two in passing. I've never put them on my own guitar, and I didn't love them enough to do it. So yeah, I don't know. It's weird. And you have all these different coatings of strings these days. Everyone has their own formula. We were talking about strings in the Discord. Staley was, and he couldn't believe he had a set of string joys, and then he compared them to elixirs in terms of how stiff and everything they felt. And I sent him the green Harley Benton that was damaged because he wants to be a luthier, so he wants to do repairs. And I was like, have at it. And I sent him in the packaging for that a set of the Ernie Ball hybrid slinkies. They're like $5 a set. And he's like, these feel so much better and they have more life to them. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's different preferences for different people, And the guitar, really. I really feel like the guitar makes a big difference on whether or not you're going to like a certain coating of string, especially. Because it can either add too much or, take away something. Might make it a little bit more muffled. It is what it is. Personally, to answer the question in a roundabout way, I'd rather have the nickel ones. Not need to be very trusty, and I ain't so no way. Yeah. That's what I like about you, Alan. Write a script and a bot for that. Automate those types of things. Yeah, you could easily do that. Yes, all your observations on guitar center pricing and quick sales are correct. I did it for a little bit, and then I just got bored of it because I felt like I was looking at the same like Squire and Mexican guitars every day, and not that they were the exact same ones, but like the same models constantly on a loop is pretty rough. During my trade and buy visit last week, Epiphone Slash models were $5.99 when new with a hard shell case. Yeah, they were like that at the Guitar Center here in Naples. I was down there last week. Like, you gotta try it. It's so good. And it's actually really funny because I have a really good relationship with the luthier there, the tech, and he's seen some of the Japanese guitars that I've had, and he loves Japanese guitars too. And he kind of heard the guy telling me like, I'll be blown away at how good the Epiphone is for the money, and we're just laughing because I let him know about the shops because he knew about some of them. He has a J Custom Ibanez on the way. And we were just like, yeah, we're talking about like value and all that stuff. Like a few $100 more gets me a made in Japan one. But I sat with the Epiphone, the Slash, for about 5 minutes. The neck was actually pretty good on it. Not bad, better than I thought it was going to be. Had a decent weight. It actually was pretty good. It's kind of like how I said about when I did the Squire video the other day. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. You don't want to spend a ton of money on a Les Paul. You're not going to have many Gibson options, apparently, for the lower end. I read that they're going to discontinue the tribute models of the Gibsons. So it's going to be studios and up. That means your cheapest Gibson branded product, if that's true, is going to start at $16.99. It's not good. It's not good at all. You just made a trade. You traded a Les Paul 57 reissue. Oh, is that the one you're having the issues with the bridge, Thomas? For the 0028. It was an even trade. I'm happy, and the Clapton is killer. That's beautiful. I love that. You found something you really wanted and something that just didn't work out for you, and you felt like everybody made out okay on it. Doesn't get much better than that. It's not like you traded 3 cheaper guitars for a more expensive guitar. You know what I mean? It's like the shop gets something back in value that is one thing that they have to sell. Because that's another thing that kind of goes without consideration, I almost feel like, yeah, I'll trade in all this stuff to the shop and they'll be able to make X amount of profit on each one. Well, each one has to sell. And who knows how long that would take. Whereas if you do a 1-for-1 of like quality stuff, like what you just did, like the 57 reissue, they just got to sell the one guitar and then that entire transaction's done. So yeah, that's the ideal scenario. Congratulations. And I'm glad you love that guitar. Okay. Oh, Thomas, I actually thought about this right after we finished that stream. You were telling me you had the bridge. You were having intonation problems with that bridge. I didn't realize you were talking about a special. I thought you were talking about a traditional R7 that had stop tail and a tune-o-matic. So I was giving you advice on parts or place that would not have fit the wraparound bridge. I didn't realize you were talking about one of those. So I apologize for that. I have a weird memory. I remember that very vividly, too. The Tribute is the best value American made guitar. Well, if you want one, you better get one now. Because, yeah. Few stores that I've spoken to personally have said they're, well, once I saw other people saying it, I like to call and verify these things. They're like, yeah, we're not getting any more. That's it. Once we're out, we're out. So take for that what you will. Maybe it's not everybody. Maybe it'll just be exclusive runs, or maybe it'll just be you can only buy it from Gibson.com. They want to do things that way. Everyone wants things direct. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Bradford, you have traded through shipping more than once with strangers. You're brave, man. You're brave. I couldn't do it. I have been burnt so many times on little things, and once on a decent sized thing. I don't trust people. I have a very hard time. I have trust issues. And especially now when times can be really tough for some people financially, like people will do whatever to make a dollar. There are some people that have no conscience and no shame. Even people, like I was reading on the gear page, people that had amazing seller reviews, like hundreds of them. And they're like, oh, I can trust this guy, PayPal, friends, and family. And then that person made like 4 or 5 deals and then just skedaddled on out after like 10 years of being on the gear page. Took all the money. Worked all that time building up his reputation just for one cash out. But that's all it takes. And then you're sitting there like, what do I do? No, I'm not playing that game. Just like I'm so against buying guitars, PayPal, friends, and family. It's not even funny. I hate it. I think it's stupid. I think it's so stupid. Like you're irresponsible with your money as a buyer. Unless it's literally your family or your friends. In which case, you know them in real life. I mean, they may be sketchy or whatever, but like you at least know them. Whereas stranger on the internet, no, you're not my friend, you're not my family. I don't trust you with even $500 for a cheaper guitar. I wouldn't do it. Because worst case scenario, you're out that money, period. And you have no recourse because you did it as that kind of no fee payment. And that's why I don't look on the gear page anymore. That is the worst classified section I've ever seen. Let's give an example. Okay? You know what? I don't even need to make one up. I bet you if I click on 2 listings, one of them, of the first 2 that I click on, will have the exact crap that I'm talking about on there. Okay, July 20. Okay. Yep, this guy wants $3,800 plus fees, plus shipping, plus how does he word this? Non-payment or no non-fee payment or fee included. So, and this is so freaking typical of the gear page. If you want to charge me fees and shipping, and you want to have this factored in to a friends and family payment of $4,000, because that's what you're looking at here at this guy, Mr. Fezziwig. I'm so sorry to call you out, sir. You are just the poor victim who happened to be in the top of the gear page right now. I hate these listings. I hate them. At least do the math of how much you want. So if you're going to take PayPal, you know PayPal is going to charge you 2.9%. Why don't you take out your calculator? Don't make the consumer do the work or the buyer do the work. You do the work. And then you you add that into the price, and then you just call that the price. And then you could say we can negotiate shipping from there. And then you're good. But no, it's like you click on any given ad, and this isn't just to pick on this guy. You go down the line on the gear page classifieds. It's almost comical. They're all like this. They all want top dollar, no friends and family payment. You do the math on all the extra fees. You do the math on the shipping. And then you're on the hook for all the money you sent, and you have to pray that you get the product that you paid for. Don't do any of that. I don't tell people not to do things very often. I think it's good to let people live and let live. But I think you are a fool, and I would say it to your face if you were to do that. Just do the regular one. Pay the extra money. And if you see somebody demanding this kind of stuff, it's not worth it. You'll find another guitar where they're not going to make you jump through these hoops and put your money at risk like that. Okay? So again, sorry to a Fezziwig. You were just the first one that popped up. Anyways. You like your Epiphone Slash. You got it when it went to $7.99 and you saw the same one, $5.99. That happens all the time. But the good news is you like it. And it's $200. Does it suck you spent $200 more than it's currently on sale for? Yeah, but you can't live like that. It doesn't sound like you are, like, sour grapes about it, but it's happened to all of us at some point buying pieces of gear. You buy it, and then the next week it's on sale. Some places are pretty cool about it. Other places, no. Is it? No, that's when you bought it for. Sorry about that. You're really happy with your Tribute? Yeah, I like the Tributes too. I think they're really good guitars. They get a bad rap because they have the maple necks, but it's funny because if I recall correctly, core Paul Reed Smith McCarty's and McCarty 594s, don't they come standard with some of those? A maple neck? Yeah. It's weird. The CE24 has a maple neck. Stratocaster has a maple neck. But on a Gibson. How dare you, sir? People are silly. Trade in person only. The only guitar I bought sight unseen was from Aaron Short Music, and I believe I got a fair deal. But you also knew Aaron to an extent. You know what I mean? He wasn't a complete stranger, Staley. So that's also a little bit different. And I'm glad you did that. And Aaron, absolutely. I've talked to that guy a bunch. He seems like a real just honest guy. So that if you were going to take a risk, it'd be somebody like that. And also, somebody that does YouTube, especially on a regular basis and has a decent following, the last thing they need is to get caught doing that because it would be very bad for them. That's why it always baffles me when YouTubers get caught doing scams. I'm like, you really thought that you would get away with this and then people wouldn't figure this out and then bombard your channel? Like, I don't know. It's weird. It shows my price range of guitars that you guys say Tribute. You think of G&L. Yeah. Somebody asked me why I haven't demoed a G&L on this channel. I've played tons of those guitars. I would love to, like the really good values to me with G&Ls. Well, they're all really good value for the most part, but the ones that are like killer value are the ones that are custom orders that get sold used because they don't hold their value at all. You're looking at like a 50% discount on a very, very good guitar, like a custom shop level guitar. Those are the ones I always keep my eye out for. But I don't need any of those at the moment, but it'd be fun. Who knows what the future holds. You got the Les Paul Special intonation. Worked it. You were obsessing getting it exact and got it close. You were strobing after calling Gibson. They told me to try a refusal. Oh, I was going to say what? A regular tuner as a compromise and sounded in tune. You didn't think about that side. Well, I don't think a lot of people do. I don't know. That's dangerous. Like I get really, like, I'm very easygoing and laid back, dude. But when it comes to people and my business and stuff like that, like I am as professional as you could possibly get. Do you guys want to hear a story real quick about what just happened this last weekend? The Takashi Kato Stratocaster sold. Okay? I'm not going to use anyone's names here. The Takashi Kato Stratocaster sold on GoDaddy, which uses Square for payment. Now, what happens normally is whenever a guitar sells, the listing gets removed. Because guess what? I have it listed as one for sale. In order to have more than one for sale, you would have to manually go in to the inventory settings of the shop and add more than one. I did not do that. This is a very important detail to keep in mind here. Okay? Saturday night rolls around. This was before Saturday. Saturday night rolls around. and I hadn't checked the website. And I got an email notification that guess what had sold? The Takashi Kato Stratocaster. And I'm like, what the hell? How did this sell? Okay. I immediately refund the guy and I apologize. I'm like, look, this guitar just sold. I didn't even blame Square. And I have all the emails to prove this. This is hilarious. And I took my own personal accountability for it. I said I should have taken it down. The guitar just sold. I'm sorry about that. And I instantly, within an hour of him purchasing it, I had the refund filed with Square, and Square sent him an email saying he was getting refunded. Okay. So Monday comes around. I get a charge on my bank account for $40. I knew this was going to happen. I'm not complaining about this. It's shit policy, but it's just how things are now. Even if you do a sale that is never shipped, it is immediately, or is done on accident, or whatever, there's a problem with it. If you tender a refund, you don't get the processing fees back now. So Square got to keep their 2.9% of that deal. So I got $40 out of my bank account. I'm like, yeah, it sucks. Whatever. You live and you learn. Even though it was their fault, the thing was back up for sale to begin with. Some battles are just losing. The point is, the guy that bought it the second time when it wasn't supposed to be for sale proceeds to call me a liar after he had gotten an email Saturday night that there was a refund. And the email was from Square. And I sent him a screenshot that it was refunded. And he said, I'm at the bank. There was no refund ever sent to me. And I got pissed. I got really mad. Because I was like, dude, I'm like, that is the wrong way to go about this. I'm like, first of all, I had this settled, like, as far as the refund goes, like, within an hour. I apologized immediately. I did everything I could do on my end. And then, you know, he was telling me about how tough his financial situation is. Like, that was going to, like, I don't know, like, I was supposed to pay him out of my own pocket over a refund thing that Square was supposed to process. That was their fault to begin with. And it just really just sucked all around. It sucked all around. Like, I felt bad for the guy. And then, like, part of me at the end of it was just like, well, I mean, I kind of don't, if I'm honest, because if you have, say you have X amount of money and you're on like a tight budget, and you know, and obviously I'm not going to say who this person is. I'm not going to do that. But like, if money is that bad, and this person was like really, really stressed about it, like, I don't know how I'm going to get by. I'm like, well, then what the F are you doing spending $1,400, $1,500 on a guitar? I didn't say that because it's not my place to say that. Just as an adult, that should be an internal conversation that you have. But like, dude, I don't know. It's weird. So, yeah, it's just one of those things, going back to just professionalism and the risk of that, because what would happen what if I didn't respond to that guy? What if I just took that guy's money and all that? Like, I do this all the time. I wouldn't be able to hide from that because all the proof is out there. Or there would be no proof of me defending myself for doing the right thing because I wouldn't have sent it over. So there's a lot of risk involved, especially when you do this as well. There, we had story time for a minute there. You have a legacy and an ace that you love them. That's cool. Your 70s Gibson had maple necks. The 77 Les Paul Custom had one. I like the maple necks. Snappier. Yeah, I think it adds something cool to the tone. I agree. The only guitar that's dual humbucker that I didn't like as much with the maple neck compared to a mahogany neck was the PRSs. It's like it goes too far in between for me, with the CE24 to a kind of like a Fender-y sound. It already kind of leans that way because of the bolt-on, but with mahogany, with a set neck mahogany CE24 or a custom 24, I like that much more on those style instruments. But you live and you learn, right? And we all like kind of different things. So let me check on this poll. I asked everybody, in case you just came in mid-ramble there, would you or have you ever traded a guitar online? 36% of you said yes. 55% said no. And 9% said, I would never. And I know Alan. He voted the I would never. Crazy story. I don't know, though it may not have started as a scam. Didn't that guy decide to not try to take advantage of the situation? I don't trust people either. You know what? I'm not going to assume anything about the guy, man. You know what I mean? But the whole thing sucked. Like, I felt bad. And I was pissed off at Square because it should have never happened to begin with. If their website functioned correctly, it would have never happened. I've never had that happen. Every other time a guitar is sold on my website, it's gone. It's gone. That's it. The end. Bye-bye. So this cost me, it's like $40 for me, whatever. But like, it cost me $40 I didn't need to spend over nothing. And then I have this guy, trying to make me feel bad and telling me I need to work on my customer service. I cackled at that. So I said, you know what? Take your frustrations. I'm like, obviously you're mad, whatever. Like, I understand that. Why don't you take it out on the company? Like, I can't do anything for you because I can't. I did everything I was supposed to do. Whatever. NYC Geology. How do you feel about the YouTubers whose business model is to find deals on vintage gear and then resell them for much higher? You mean like a guitar shop? You mean like every music store that's been in existence since the beginning of music stores? I have no problem with it. It doesn't bother me at all. That's just business. Yeah. I always found it weird how like people would pick on individuals that would do it. Like, but if a shop does it, it's okay because, they're a shop. Like our buddies out in the Pacific Northwest who charge double and triple what you can buy the guitar for brand new still in Japan. They're loved. They're praised. No problems with them doing that. But if an individual takes the time and effort, doesn't have the same resources as a shop, as far as a team, as far as being able to scour, as far as being able to travel to get whatever gear it is that they're going to sell, going out, verifying it is real, verifying the condition, being able to do any repairs themselves if needed or modifications to the guitar that it, or, just general upkeep. I mean, I'm fine with that. Good luck to those people. It's not as easy as people think it is. Don't trust no. I can't read that with my friend, especially with money. Yeah, I get you. Paul Taylor got a Gibson Les Paul Jr. tribute double cut with a flame maple neck. It's fantastic. That actually sounds awesome. That actually sounds really cool. I love the look of a flame maple neck, man. I love the look of a flame maple neck. Especially on like, I don't know. I think on the PRS ones, they get to be a little bit too much because of the dyes they use. Like it really pops. But like one that's a little bit more subtle or in a darker finish, like, ooh, very cool. There's a guitar. I think it's actually still for sale if you guys want to see a pretty cool flame maple neck. At Dave's Guitar Shop right now. It's a Fender Custom Shop from 1992. And new old stock. How, guitars used to be wanted when people were spending top dollar on custom gear. They didn't want it to be run over by a truck. They actually just wanted it to be nice. But this it's still there. Limited edition custom 62 Strat 1992. That is a freaking beaut. Let me see something real quick here. Let's see if I can get it up on the screen. If it wants to load. Boom. All right. Real quick. Can you do it? Can you do it window capture? And then I'll catch up with the comments. But now that this is on my head, I want to show you guys this. Nope. Come on, where's Google Chrome? Item 0. No, are you not going to do it? We'll try one more time. If not, we'll just chalk it up. And you'll have to take my word for it or go to Dave's Guitar Shop on your own. It looks like you're going to have to go to Dave's Guitar Shop on your own. I apologize about that. What I'll do is I'll just copy and paste the link. So you guys can see what I'm talking about in the chat. There you go. Cool. All right. So back to the comments here. That's what. Okay, back to the question about reselling vintage guitars. That's what I think too. But there seems to be such a weird vitriol against these individuals online. Such an American thing to do. Care about business of other individuals. I don't know. The only time I have problems with it is when people are doing illegal stuff. Like again, to rag on certain shops, I'll do it. But I I don't call for them to be like put out of business. You know what I mean? Like I don't care. Like good for them. Obviously they're making boatloads of money. I know what their margins are on like half their inventory. I know what it is because I shop in Japan all the time. So I know how much money they're making. Well, on those. I don't know the grand scheme of things, but I mean, like I'll rib on them, but like I don't hope I don't call for a protest. I don't like say like these people should never be in business. And notice I'm not even naming them at this point. I think it's redundant, but I don't know. I don't care. So long as you're not selling something that is pretending to be something it's not and tricking the customer, it's everything's pretty much fair game. Whatever somebody's willing to pay that's the price. Whether or not you agree with it or whether or not you think that that's a fair valuation of it, that's in the eye of the beholder. That's going to depend. But that's business, man. That's business. I've seen guitars sell for prices I'm like, that is insane. But I probably bought guitars at prices where people would say, that is insane. So it's a two-way street, so to speak. Should I try to sand a saddle bone on a Martin or take it to someone? On a guitar that nice, just take it to somebody, Thomas. It's not worth the headache. That guitar, that 0028 Clapton model, that's not a standard Mexican guitar. You know what I mean? Like that's a very nice guitar. I would take that to somebody, the best guy in the area. Just because, you know, he'll take the most care of it. Or just somebody that has a really good reputation around you. And just have him do it. It's worth the peace of mind on things like that. With some guitars, I would rather have that peace of mind. They're very nice instruments. Martin sells replacement saddles that are compensated, I do believe, if you run into problems. That's cool. Yeah, and like Greg said, you could apply this to everything, whether you're talking about on the specific style or bridge on the acoustic, sanding the whole thing down. If you're filing individual slots on a guitar nut, always go slowly because you can't undo it. You're going to start with a new nut again. You're going to have to remove the one that you just put in and start over. Same thing goes for if you want to take some of the finish, the gloss, off of a less expensive guitar like the Squier Classic Vibes. Those come like really glossed. Some people love everything about those guitars, but that, if you're going to take a pad to it or sandpaper, or when I say a pad, I mean a Scotch-Brite pad, the green one, or sandpaper or something like that, go very slowly, wipe off in between passes, and you know, just take your time. It's not a race. Anytime you're doing work like that involves sanding or filing, just be careful. You'll get there. I promise. It's better to undershoot than to overshoot. They're not the muscle woman. They're not that muscle woman to replace. No. Not that bad. Not that bad. Okay. The last thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, because we've actually done really well today, I will say, is tips on negotiating for guitars. So, the first, yeah, no, I saw that autocorrect and I was just like, that's, okay. I'm just going to say it and not acknowledge any further than that. Tips on negotiating for guitars. Okay. Now, it's pretty widely accepted that a normal discount on a new instrument from a major brand, 10 to 20% is pretty standard. 20% really depending on the brand and the tier of the guitar you're talking about here. Can also be standard. If you're interested in trying to get more than that, I'm just going to do some basic math here. Because there was another thing that I've read and this person couldn't wrap their head around it. And I was like, you really aren't, you're not seeing the big picture here. There's a guitar that is worth $6,000. I'm not even going to name the type of guitar. I'm just going to tell you. This guitar sells new for $6,000. Okay? They sell used for just under $4,000, which, that's really irrelevant to the new pricing. However, this was a detail that was supplied and justified for the reason why they offered them under $4,000 for this guitar. And the shop, in the nicest way possible, and I say that sarcastically, but in a way that I really appreciated as somebody who deals with lowballs all the time, they said, go gather more money. Now, here's the thing. So, that's 30% discount, roughly. Now, people were saying, 20% standard, 30%, even though it's technically more than that, it's more like 33. That's not that far off of 20. It's not that bad. Here's the thing that you're not considering. First of all, this was done on Reverb. Tip number 1, don't negotiate on Reverb. If you want to try and negotiate with the shop, don't do it on Reverb. Don't do it on Reverb, period. Because here's the reality of that situation. When you offer them 33%, or you offer to buy it at a 33% discount, you're not offering a 33% discount. You're offering them a 40.5% discount because they have to take into account Reverb's fees. And then on top of that 40.5% discount, they got to ship the guitar to you. So it's a hell of a lot more than a standard 20% discount. If you're looking for a deal like that, and you really want to just go guns blazing at it, you want to have a better chance at success, contact the shop directly so they don't have to pay the exorbitant fees to Reverb. Or better yet, do it with your local shop if you have one near you, and walk in person. And do it that way. It's just it's wild to me. But then I understand it because not everybody buys and sells guitars. Like, I'm just a weird person, I suppose, for doing it on such a regular basis as an individual, right? But I mean, there are so many things that go into it. It's not as just black and white as, here's my offer, they're going to take home this much money. It's like, no, they're not. No, they're not. It's like I don't think you realize how badly you just lowballed these people. Like, you deserved a worse response than what they were given. And I thought it was pretty clever. So we're going to use that from now on. Gather more money, or gather more funds. That's what we're going to say from now on. I think it's hilarious. Whatever that shop is. You guys, good job. Joke, $6,000 for a guitar, not something you will be playing then. They're still paying fees. Exactly, they're still paying the fees. And dude, $6,000 on one guitar, I've never done it. That's too rich for my blood. Granted, I have that in multiple guitars, but as far as like that value's worth of guitar, but like on one guitar, never done it. Maybe it would have to be like the perfect, but there's no such thing as perfect. I don't know. I'll never say never, but it's very unlikely. It's very unlikely. Unless this YouTube channel blows up to past anybody else, and all my videos get 1 million views. In which case, oh my God, the shopping we will do. You guys want to have fun and live vicariously through me as I go. I just book airplane tickets. I flew to that. Now that's what I would do. If I was one of these big time YouTubers, that's what I would do. 100%. Because once you start making that kind of money, oh man. I traveled to Kyoto to pick up this custom guitar. Or I flew to Nashville. I just wanted to find the best Telecaster in all of Nashville. You just film yourself going into these shops. You got the money to buy whatever. Oh my God. It'd be so much fun. I'd just go all over the country. All over the world at times if I could. That's what I would do. And I'd have a field day doing it. Just make it like a full, like a TV show kind of thing. You know what I mean? You film all the B-roll of like the journey, the trip. Maybe you find a really good place that serves awesome food locally. You give them a free, advertisement. Like, this place was great. If you're ever in Charlotte, check this place out. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'd want to do. That'd be so much fun. And, I'd have some guitars. But I'd need more room for them. So yeah, tell everybody in your family to subscribe and watch all the videos. Even if you don't watch them, just have them turn on YouTube, right? And then leave the room and just have it on autoplay. Let all the ads play. Let all the ads play. It's very important. It pays like shit. Even if people did that. I'm just having fun, but it would be cool, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be fun? Like the dream, just like you just could travel around. Oh, you know what? I have another thing you could add to that, right? All right. So you go and you pick the city, but before you go, you book a gig for while you're out there, okay? So you go, you pick out the guitar, you go through the whole process, you get it, and then you play a gig with that guitar and you have that professionally streamed. Oh man. Dude, man, that'd be so fun. That'd be so much fun. And then you have people like chipping in. Yeah, I'm diving in way too deep into something that is never, ever, ever going to happen. But then you have people in the chat. They're like, oh, well, this guitar shop has something like, because you guys know what I like. You're like, they have this. Like, can you believe it? Or you got to check out this. They have this awesome inventory, and the area is beautiful, like in Wales or in England or in Portugal or something like that. And I'm just like, okay. And then we just go. We all meet up. We have a field day. Oh man, that'd be so much fun. Wouldn't that be cooler than just let's check out the new Harley Benton or the Squire or the Gibson even or the 77. Let's demo it. Let's put it on a bench. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but the other idea is way cooler. Got to admit. Sorry, I just got like a little kid there. Just like a little kid. Man, don't ever age. Keep your imagination. Keep your dreams and hopes. Hey, Sean, how's it going? Joey, everyone is pretty well. We're all doing good. I hope. No, I especially hope Alan is doing good. We all got to hope Alan is doing well. He's going through some medical stuff, and he still comes in here to hang out. So, it means a lot. I'd want to see you visit factories and talk to workers. That is also on my plan for the next time I go to California. However, the factory I want to go to is just south of California. I think you know where I'm going with that. I'd buy a $6,000 guitar for sure. Just watch Eddie's guitars and look at those gorgeous boutique builds from Froggy Bottom and such. Oh, man. Eddie's guitars, I think they're only by appointment only. I don't think you just walk in there anymore. Although I believe Wildwood has opened up their showroom too recently again. I still can't believe that shop survived that fire in Colorado. Like that whole community, like it was an insane percentage of it burnt down. And people lost their houses and businesses and all that. And even though they were like right in the heat of it, Wildwood Guitars unscathed. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And it's a write-off. Yeah, exactly. I can write it all off. Guitar shop nightmares. Guitar shop nightmares with Gordon Ramsay? You think so? Do you think so? I don't think that would be, I don't know, man. I think the internet would like that better because people like negative things, as we've talked many times on this channel. People like just vitriolic things, or I see so many like YouTube videos where it's just like they hate this person, or these people hate you, or I hate this guitar, or this sucks, and like they have so many views on it. I'm like, why? I'm like, why? Like you never see the thumbnail like happiest thing, happiest day, amazing this, when it's not trying to sell you something. If it's just somebody that's genuinely happy, the negative stuff sells, man. People like it. They buy into it. They eat it up. Loop it. Yeah, that'd be fun. What do I do for a living? A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and by a little bit of this and a little bit of that, a billion different things. Some most in relation to music, whether it's buying and selling guitars or this doesn't really pay any money, but it pays a little bit. It pays two bills, and yeah, just doing other session work, stuff like that. I do all that so I can stay here be there with my kid as much as I can. And we don't have like, I don't know. Like you would look at this room and think that maybe like we were like rolling in money or like we had like all this stuff. Like, nah, we're so bare bones. Like it's all into all the money's like in this room. Like we don't, like as far as like material items, like we don't, we're very frugal. Which again, I know it's gonna sound crazy, but yeah, we don't have much to spend on, so our bills are pretty low and we can make it work. Keep dreaming. I have to keep dreaming or I'll go crazy. How about trading pickups? What's the best neck pickup for a Telecaster for jazz? Yeah, the Twisted Telly is not going to work out for jazz. I could have told you that one a mile away. Do you know what would be surprising to you to hear that I believe is really good for jazz? And I've had these pickups before. Are the Blues Special Lindy Fralins. If you get the Blues Special in the neck position and you dial back the tone ever so slightly on the tone knob, you're right there. You're right there. It's a very, very good sound. I've had those pickups in a few guitars, and that was always one thing that stood out to me. Because I do, from time to time, I'll play jazzy phrases or lines or riffs or whatever in demos. And those pickups especially, for single coils, they're some of my all-time favorites. The Lindy Fralin Blues Special. That's my recommendation. Looking at the Blackstar debut 50R amp pretty heavily. They're only $250. Oh. I've never played one of those. I can't really give you an honest assessment. I'd be lying if I did. But try it, and if you like it, you like it. Just know that Blackstar out of warranty is just it's a paperweight. Nobody's going to be able to fix any of those. Doesn't matter if it's tube or solid state. Really want to visit Wildwood. You got your 50s road worn tele from there. It was perfect right out of the box. That's where I got my Les Paul Standard 50s that I sold a year ago. Yeah. Yeah, I sold that a year ago. That was an unfortunate one. I didn't really want to sell that guitar, but I did. Okay. I like the guitarist. Guitarist? You mean the guitarista? He has adverts but no freebies. Like you, his channel's growing. Give him a look. He's an old punk. Yeah. I don't know. I think I said this so many times that the people that remember me saying this are probably like, shut up. I know. I don't really watch I don't really watch guitar YouTube. There's no chance in hell I'm watching a 30-minute guitar demo. There's no chance in hell. Just being honest. God bless him. I hope he's successful, but I can't watch a 30-minute gear demo. No way. Doesn't matter what it is. You have a regular job on the biggest dealer for Fender Esquire JVs in Europe. There you go. You got anything cool now? Or are you online? Your shop have a name? And did you just purchase a JV serial Jazzmaster? If you did, what color was it? And what were some identifying features? Because I saw that sold quickly. If I had seen it, I would have bought it and sold it. Not going to lie to you all. Very rare to find a JV serial Jazzmaster. One or two flags, but nothing that means it couldn't have been authentic. But that's good to hear. I like that stuff. Can you expound on the Blackstar point? I have no idea what you mean. It's worse than a Fender amp out of warranty. Blackstar, if you don't go directly to a Blackstar dealer, well, with the amp, well, first of all, Sean, I just want to preface this by saying, with the amp you're talking about, this isn't really going to be that big of a deal. It's more specifically with how they handle tube amp and tube amp repairs and their warranties. They don't provide schematics, and you have to go to a dealer. And if you touch it yourself, your warranty's voided, and it's just it's a real hassle. And then people, like some of the pros, the techs that I've talked to that have worked on those, like they're nightmares. They're nightmares. You're better off just buying a different amp if something goes on one of those out of warranty. That's all. Good morning, Rex. You're at the gym? That's great. Good to see the fellow punks. FJV on Reverb. Let me just bookmark it. It's funny. That's kind of messed up because it's like FJV, like in a negative way. And I was just like, I don't like the sound of that. Look at this. My Strat ST57 1982 JV. This had gray bottoms and not red bobbins. Mine had red bobbins. Well, $3,300. Oof. That's a lot. I didn't buy the JV Jazzmaster recently, but I have. Oh, yeah. There you go. That was what this one was. This was a candy apple red. But what I didn't like about this was the original owner of that, the specific JV that just sold, they removed the made in Japan serial off the heel of the neck, the base of the neck. I hate when people do that. I saw a JV telly that had the same thing. Yeah, I don't like that. Even though on the JV tellies, you're getting the serial on the bridge plate. Unless it was a 72, which would be like a wide range humbucker style instrument with the semi-hollow, or the F-hole rather. That would have the JV serial on the 3-bolt plate, neck plate. But outside of that, JV tellies had the serials right on the bridge plate. Interesting stuff. You've had a few white ones before, JV Jazzmasters. Those are cool, man. JV Jaguar would be interesting to own. Very uncommon, though. Very uncommon. Just like the black double bound JV I have. I've never seen another one of those. I've never seen another one of those. And I look all the time. Not in black and not from 84 where they actually got the logo correct. They got the logo wrong in when they did in 1982, those first runs of the double bounds, the logo was wrong. 1983, the logo was in the right spot, but the string tree was in the wrong spot. And then in 1984, both were correct. I am a nerd, but I love Japanese guitars. Oh, yeah, I know all about Navigator. I have a 77 Ex Robato, which is a 335, except not non-factory production, all done by hand. I've got a bunch of Divisor 77 guitars. Yeah, the Jaguar is one of those too. That's a Momo set. Fantastic. Anyways, before I ramble too off here, I'm gonna answer this question, then I'll get to Staley. You are interested in buying a cheap bass 6. I looked at the Harley Benton and the Squires. Do you have a preference? The Harley Benton. Honestly, the Harley Benton. I don't think that there's like a night and day difference between the two of them. So like if you were in a store and you found a bass 6 that you did like, that was a Squire, I mean, I wouldn't say don't buy it. But if I was choosing to pick blind, I'd pick the Harley Benton. Texas T Jaguar Ultralux is the dream guitar for you. This is a weird guitar, man. Texas T is such a beautiful finish, but that Ultralux Jaguar was that is so far from being a Jaguar. It's just weird. It's just weird. It would have been more appropriate if they called it more like a Jazz Master. Honestly, I believe it doesn't even have the right scale length. I believe it does have the Jazzmaster scale length, 25.5. All right, before I get going, I'll catch up with a few more of these comments, and then we'll go. So, I want electric guitar is a Fender Charcoal Burst made in Japan with a serial number that begins with E. What's supposed to be a reliable source to date that accurately? Well, Joey, the problem with the E serial numbers, And this isn't just with E serial numbers. I'll give you another example of it. Like the P serial number crafted in Japan versus the P serial number made in Japan, they denote different years entirely. So, for example, a P serial crafted in Japan, if it doesn't have a pencil writing in the neck to tell you the exact day and the year that it was made, you're not going to know. You're not going to know. You can look at the pots. If the pots are original, the pots will have a date on them if you know how to read those. But with the E cereals, they were made from 1984 to 1987. The only way you would have a definitive answer is if they had the actual date on the base of the heel of the neck itself. That's the only way with those E cereals, unfortunately. Surefire way. But yeah, no, it's very difficult. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a Telly with an E serial. It doesn't matter if it's a Strat, Jazzmaster. I had a Mustang. I had an E serial Mustang. That was when they were called a collector series. Yeah, it doesn't matter if there's no. And one of the people that wanted to buy that was very insistent that I know if it was in 1985. I'm like, dude, I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that because it's not on the guitar. I'd be lying to you. Do you want me to lie to you and be like, yeah, it's a 1985? It's 84, 85, 86, or 87. There's no way of knowing unless it has the pencil marking. There you go, man. Cool. Happy to help. You're welcome. You grew up in Nashville. Somebody told me to go to Grun's Guitars. Oh, it was Rex, who I just totally bypassed. Rex is going to play some. What's the other Novo brand? Fano. No, not that one. Oh my God, I'm totally blanking. He's playing Eastwood and the brand that makes the Combinadas, I believe they're called. I'm really at a loss here. Anyways, he's going to check those out tomorrow morning. He's been on a hell of a field trip here. I wanted to get out and visit with them. He was kind enough to invite me to Montana to do some songwriting stuff, and just the way things are. And our kid decided she wanted to go to school and not be homeschooled because she missed her friends. Totally understandable. Scheduling just wasn't going to work out this time. It was too short a notice, and I'm really bummed about it. If you're still watching this, Rex, I was seriously sad because I could use that, and it'd be fun to do it. Revolta, that's what it is. So you ask me about Japanese stuff, I can go into the most extreme of detail like this, but you ask me like a very well-known modern brand like that, I'm like, I have no idea. Just out of the loop. I'm out of the loop. There we go. Yep. You just went to Montana to see Gary Clark Jr. Well, that's awesome. Part of the reason I wanted to go to Montana is because like that's the kind of place that if I had like real money, I would just set up shop there and be totally self-sufficient in a place like that. Small town, just nature, no BS. I really feel like it's so good for you to just not be around all the clutter and the people and the stress and just, you get more in touch with everything, with yourself. It's great. It's great. Haven't had a vacation in a place like that in a very long time. You don't get vacations. We don't really get vacations that much. But you do what you do. You're lucky, Greg. The Ramones, Dead Kennedys, loved England playing there. Yeah, you guys had lots of good bands. You had lots of good bands. Revolta is made in the same factory as the Reverends. The Revoltas are Korean? Is that true? Is that right? I'm not saying that's right. I'm not sure. That's why I'm asking. But I know those Reverends are made in South Korea. For whatever reason, I had thought that the Revoltas were Chinese. Or maybe I'm thinking of another brand. Honestly, I can't keep up. I feel like every other week there's a new brand. And I pay more attention to the Japanese brands. Grunz is the essential stop. Yeah, Grunts would be. I'd like to go up there. Then like you said, okay, guys. Like I said, let's make the dream happen. Give me all the money. Well, not out of your own pockets. Just find ways to make me rich on this, and we'll start traveling the country. We'll go to all these cool guitar shows. We'll play gigs. Go up. We'll go to New York. We'll bother Aaron Short. We'll crash his gig with our new guitar that we just bought at a guitar store. We'll play some Oasis with him by surprise. We'll film it all. Man, I can't get off that idea. That'd be so much fun. All of that. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. I did hear the new Marshall before I get going here. I always wanted the 1 watt version of that. When Marshall made their 50th anniversaries, 1 watts, they made combos and heads. I always wanted the JTM one. And they're like $1,000. I think they're between $1,000 and $1,400 used. To see these come out now, that means that one day, if I ever want to go that route, I'm very happy with the amps I have. I really am. But that would be an amp that I wouldn't say no to. I know Marshall is not the kind of place. Well, really nobody sends me anything for free. But yeah, not gonna happen. But I take it. I'd be happy with that. Agreed. All right, let me see how this poll ended. We're gonna get out of here for the day. Thank you all for hanging out. Seriously, it's always fun to do these things. Would you or have you ever traded a guitar online? 26% said yes. Oh, it's actually big change. 53% said no. 21% up said I would never. That started at 6%. So a lot of people, as more people came in, more people voted I would never. Fair enough, my friends. Fair enough. Don't use PayPal, friends, and family with strangers unless you're just so rich you don't care about getting robbed, because that's very, very possible, and there'd be nothing you could do about it. You could cry to PayPal all you want. They'd say, too bad. Use friends and family. Deal with it. But that is what it is. We do have a video that will be posted tomorrow. This was requested. God, it's got to have been 5 months ago, and I forgot all about it. It's been a while since we did a guitar comparison of guitars that really shouldn't be compared. That's what we're doing tomorrow. Stratocaster and a Jaguar. I hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you have a great weekend. I love you all. Tell your family that you love them all. Spend some time with them. Take it easy, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.